Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my industry story, my industry journey. My name is Omini. I'm going to be talking about my journey to the comedy industry. Yes, let's start from MC Basketball. He was the first celebrity comedian that I met. If you don't know who MC Basketball is, he goes by the name MC Miracle. He used to be MC Basketball. If you watch Night of a Thousand Laughs, then go the bong 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 bong. It was many years ago. I did. They had a show in Calabar, and then he came. I was on the bill and I performed, and he saw me. He was like, "Are you this small boy? You are funny. You need to be in Lagos." You know, that was how "You need to be in Lagos" finally hit me more and more, because I've been hearing that from people like Sonny Neji, from people like Abianesho. Yeah, Abianesho. I'm trying to remember their name now. They sing one day it go better. And they buy moto, and they drive. You know that song now? Yeah, you know, I've been hearing that Left and Short Gone and all that. And then I finally came to Lagos. The first superstar comedian I met in Lagos was Gandoki, the almighty, the funniest, the comedian's comedian, Gandoki. I don't know how to describe, the god of funny, Gandoki. Hadnam Bas Gandoki. It was my first comedy performance in Lagos. I went to OJ's. I was about a month or so in Lagos. I went to OJ's to perform. Somebody said, "Oh, they do comedy at OJ's, go there." And then I went there. That was the night MC Basketball was hosting. Okay, MC Basketball was the one who invited me, actually. I went there that night. It was on a Friday night. I went on stage, and I was not very happy with my performance because I think I was overwhelmed. I saw superstars that I you used to see on TV, the Ejika Asiegbu, the Clement Hameze, name it. Like, it was packed full. Superstar Nollywood actors. I was overwhelmed. I didn't really like my performance. And then somebody came to me. I think it was a heavy man, a comedian as well back then. He came to me and said, "Bros, they call you." You know, in comedy, we just call every senior colleague bros, but I didn't know who exactly he was. As I was going to meet the person, I was following him, somebody held my hand and said, "Brilliant one." And guess who that was? That was Aquila Njama. Yes, Aquila Njama. If you don't know Aquila Njama, go check him out. Aquila Njama just held my hand and said, I didn't really know he was Aquila Njama because he wasn't a popular face, but he was a behind the scene producer, director, nice one. And then the guy led me to the bros. He was sitting at the far left of the stage. It was a dark spot. He was just there, and I saw the cigarette. And when I got close, it was Gandoki. I was like, "What? Gandoki? This is unbelievable." He was smoking. He was like, "I like you. You're a funny guy. You're funny. You're intelligent. Your jokes, eh? You don't speak English, the crash jokes. Your jokes funny." I couldn't laugh because I wasn't expecting it. And then he told me a story. I said, "You don't know me for good eye. I good eye for Night of a Thousand Laughs. I don't grab me perform now. He got audition 4 times. I tell Opa, if you don't perform, I don't go perform. Use my joke. Use my talent. Use my joke." And look at my good eye today, big boy. I was like, man, I think I've heard this story before from somebody else. I was like, I appreciate you. Like, you're funny. Take my number. Then you call me. I like your joke. You're just intelligent comedian. That's how I met Gandoki. I can't remember how I met some other comedians, but I remember how I met Clint the Drunk. Clint the Drunk is another very interesting comedian. In fact, I've been watching. These are guys I watched even before I became a comedian, or I even conceived the thought of becoming a comedian. I met Clint the Drunk. It was a show I went to here in Lagos, and then he just saw me. Even before I performed, he was like, I did see your work. Ah, you're a funny guy. I like you. They're brilliant, you know. And then we got talking, and then we became friends. One of the most iconic person that I met in the comedy industry and how I met him was, I mean, till this day, I was thinking, I keep thinking like, this is unbelievable. It's Basketmouth, Bright Okwacha, the almighty Basketmouth. Even though he has blocked me on Instagram now, but I remember how I met him. It was very, very, it was an unexpected way. And, you know, Bright was somebody that I watched, you know, I was like, man, this guy, and all of this. I was like, So I, you know, of course, I kept keeping in touch, and then he would, you know, sometimes just out of the blues, Basketmouth would do something that I was like, what? Out of the blue, sometimes he would just write me, how you dey now? Hope you dey okay. Boss, I dey okay. No worry, we dey together. I was like, why is Basketmouth giving me assurance, reassurance? You know. But I understand he was just looking out for a young comic. And then I remember Basket did something that in my wildest imagination I'd never have thought he would do. He recommended me for Glow Laughter Fest. I remember this incident like it was yesterday. He recommended me for Glow Laughter Fest. He reached me and said, oh, they don't call you. I was like, in my head, like, who? Do you want to, who? He was like, okay, the people from, okay, no worry, then go call you. And then later he wrote me back and said, okay, you know what, come, I think it was Surulere. Yes, it was at Surulere. There's this hall opposite the ShopRite in Surulere. I can't remember the name of that hall now. I used to play love events back then there. He said, okay, come to by so time. I was like, okay. And then, you know, Didon was on that bill as well. Cordons, there were other comedians on the bill as well. So I wanted to go. I told Didon, Basket, to make I come Glow Laughter Fest. Oh, really nice. We'll go together, no drive. So I drove to Didon's place, parked my car, and then we went to the show. You know, we had a little delay before we went to the show. And then when I got there, it was past my time to perform. I felt bad. I felt like I'd betrayed, you know, Basket, because I don't like to go to events late. I learned that through Basoj. He'd always said, if you have an event for 3 p.m., try to be there at least an hour or 30 minutes before your event starts. It helps you to settle down. And I picked that, and then I learned from that. I try not to go to any appointment late, especially events. So, and then Yinka was the one who was managing the stage. Yinka said, you don't pass in time to perform. Now Gordon's come now. Basketmouth did something that I would forever be grateful to him for. I saw Basketmouth beg Yinka to let me perform. Like, that moment is something I never imagined that he would do. I saw him beg Yinka and say, Yinka, beg. Now my guy be this. Let him perform. And Yinka said, Bright, you know, say you no get what you go ask me for one, I no go fit do. But see, it don't pass in time. You know as it dey be. Oya, make we schedule one for the next show. That was when Basket asked me, why you even come late self? And I said, oh, I was supposed to drive, and Didon said that we should come together. It was like, okay. He didn't say anything again. And then for a while, you know, after the performance, I went to the next show, did my thing, had a good time on stage. You know, for a while, Basketmouth didn't really respond to my messages or picking my call. You know, I just left him. And then one day I were somewhere at the hotel. He just walked in. I was like, bros, good evening. You don't be big man, I be, you know, they call me. I was like, boss, you be busy man now. And then he gave me his new line. These are memorable moments that I remember and I'll forever cherish as a comic who I see people who I I looked up to and admire, relate with me like I was somebody of importance. I don't take those moments for granted. Those are moments that I would forever cherish as a comic. So let's go to the next guy. Let's go to the next guy. So it was 2012. I remember that night very well. It was on a Wednesday night. I was in my house. I was living Akora Villa. It was an estate somewhere in Adini Jones that night. I was bored one evening. I was like, where do I go to? It's like, there's a place to do comedy somewhere in Yaba. It was a comedy club, And then got into my car that night and I drove to Coco Lounge. That's the name of the place, I guess, yeah. I drove to that place. And it was a very small spot. Got in there and then, it was packed full. Comedians were hustling to perform. I was like, okay, Coco Lounge. I was just observing the place. And then I saw a group of comedians greeting a particular person. It was just, we're very close to the person, but I couldn't see, it was dark. And so somebody said, why do you always meet these people when they're in dark spots? So I think about 2 or 3 comedians was just, bros, good evening, sir. So I turned around and look, it was Basket Mouth. I was like, this man no know me now. Make I no go greet and make you no shank me because I don't like those kind of things. So something that said, greet him before then go so you dey proud. I just went over to him and said, good evening, bros. He stretched his hand and shake me. Have fun now. I said, boss, I do. Say, nice one. I did see your work. Nice one. So that now gave me the confidence and the happiness. Like, this man know me. I did try me that too. So, I just went closer to him. He was like, give me your pin now. That time, a BlackBerry. In my mind, it's one thing I want to ask for number. Maybe discharge me, Abi. Don't first ask me number. Reverse psychology. So he said, give me your pin. I just gave him. Of course, you can't say no now. It's Basket Mouth. I gave him my pin. I didn't think about it because I was like, all these bros, they always meet upcoming. They always ask them for number and pin and all that. So in don't devise strategy to say, once I meet any upcoming, I don't want them to get my details. I'll ask for it first. Girls do that a lot too. So I gave him my pin. I didn't think about anything. I went home that night. I think around maybe 2 a.m. I woke up to pee. And then, when you pee now in the night, you go check your phone now. BlackBerry, I put my BlackBerry and I saw a request. Bright Okbocha. Is this for real? Like, is this real? So sharp, I accept the request. And then, surprisingly to me, the next day I saw a message. Nice one. We did together. Basket Mouth sent me message. Who I be? It was very exciting. That was how I met Basket Mouth. It was very interesting. Like till this day, when I think about it, I'm like, wow, Basket Mouth. Ask for my pin. And then I discovered that at some point, that Basket Mouth followed me on Instagram. I'm like, what? This man follow me for Instagram. Sharp, follow back. So yeah, that's one of my most iconic. Yes, is that an iconic moment? Yes, it is an iconic moment because I met somebody who, I looked up to as a young comic. Somebody who I was a fan of even before I became a comedian. So when that happened, I was like, wow, I met Basket Mouth. This is how I met Basket Mouth. Gbenga Denka, yes. How I met Gbenga Denka. I met Gbenga Denka, I think in 2007 when I just came to Lagos. There's this guy called Destiny Onifade. I talked about him in my previous video when I talked about my experience with Olumentane and Da Green. So Destiny was that guy. He was an industry guy. If you've watched The Entourage, Harry Gold, Destiny was Harry Gold. He knows everybody. So Destiny said, you're a funny guy. There's somebody I want you to meet. A comedian. His name is Gbenga Denka. I said, no Gbenga now. That bros where they do Shine Bobo on TV. We don't know him. He was like, take his number, call him. I'm like, no, I could just take somebody's number, call him. He said, no, call him. I said, okay, tell him Destiny gave you your number. I said, okay, I called him. Good day, sir. My name is Headmaster. My name is Headmaster And Destiny gave me your number. I mean, he was very polite on the phone. He's like, oh, okay, come to my office. I went to his office somewhere at Aromire. But there's Aromire, there's Amore on Allen. One is along Adeniyi Jones. One is around St. Leo's Catholic Church on Toyin Street. So I went to the one on Adeniyi Jones. As at then, I was staying on Allen Avenue. So I went to the one on, I didn't know Lagos, so I went to the one on Adeniyi Jones. And I called him, bros, I did the number. He said, no, what number? I don't see you. Come to. So I now trace back to the one on Amore, and I, the one on Toyin Street, and I met him. And I go, you're a comedian? I say, yes, sir, I'm a comedian. He's like, okay, we have a TV show. We do this. He was very nice, And then he gave me money that day, yes, I remember. I can't forget that. Gbenga Adenika gave me money. I can't remember exactly how much, but it was maybe 500, like plenty money there, no? Or something like that. Just take for your transport, Baba, as I come out for the office, there's one woman that sells beans along, when you're I can't remember anymore that street now. When you come from that Amore, Aromire, which one of them, Sha, when you come out from there, before you get to Allen, there's this woman that sells nice beans. If you see that beans, God, even if you've eaten before, you'll be hungry again. Even if you don't like beans, you want to eat that beans. Fresh, clean beans. Man, I sat down there, bought beans 30 naira, bought bread 20 naira, bought water. I spent about maybe 70 or 100 naira thereabout that place. Man, 100 naira go feed you well that time. Oh. We used to eat beans and bread 15 naira. Buy beans 20 naira, buy bread 20 naira, buy 2 pure water, 5 naira, 10 naira. You're good. Gen Z can't relate. So I spent about 100 naira or so, and I ate good. I had, change in my pocket. Then some months later, I went to this church to perform. It's called St. Leo's Catholic Church. Now I want to talk about how I met Gbenga Adenika again and Oke Bakassi. Yes. So I went to this church to perform. St. Leo, I used to attend the church at that time on Ikeja. Big Catholic church. Went there to perform, and then I was going to perform for the youth department, not the main. They had like this big event. I think it was a bazaar. They had Oke Bakassi on the bill. They had African China. They had Gbenga Adenika. They had Aki Akindele on the bill. They had the almighty, the greatest Nollywood superstars, Aki and Popo, was also on the bill. It was only a dream. I could never have imagined that I would ever be on such bill at the time. They had these people. So I'm not the guy who likes to push. I just believe, if you call me, you call me. So I did the youth department. In fact, I invited my friend MCI's Water. He came, we did the youth department, and when we're done, I was just looking at the crowd outside, like, I wish I could be on this stage, performing alongside these great people. At least let them see me. Let the audience see me. So I was just imagining, and my friend Sarge Mix. Sarge, we're all together with Kelly Ansom. He was part of the guys who used to co-produce with Kelly Ansom. So Sarge said, "You are funnier than where you perform. This is where you should perform." I was like, I don't know how to go about it. Sarge said, "Go and meet the man who is the MC. Tell him you want to perform." And guess who the MC was? Pataiwo Obileye, late Pataiwo Obileye. I walked up to him and said, "Sir, I'm a comedian. I like to perform." He said, "Oh, you can't perform now because we have a program we're following." I just stood there. I was like, well, okay. And then I saw this woman who was giving instructions. She was, giving instructions. Somebody just said, "Go to that woman." I went to the woman. I said, "Ma, I'm a comedian. I'd like to perform." She's like, "You're a comedian?" She just held me by my hand. "Come." She just took me to Pataiwo Obileye. He's a comedian and a parishioner. Please call him. Guess who she was? That's Mrs. Chinyelu Anyam Osigwe. Yes, the same Anyam Osigwe family. Yes. And then Patai Wobile said, okay, let me call you now because we have other people. And then he went on stage and introduced me. I went on stage and I was killing it. About 2-3 minutes into my performance, I heard this loud scream at the gate. Like everybody's attention left me and it was choked. The gate was covered. People were screaming. I was like, what could be going on there? Guess who came in? Seated. And then I paused for a while until Aki and Popo got to their seat. And then I did my thing. The Holy Spirit came on me. The God of humor came on me. And I did my thing. And I had a resounding ovation. After the performance, Sir said, "Maybe Waka." Went back. He took me to where Oke Bakassi was. I greeted Gbenga Adeyinka again. He's like, you came to my office now, not long ago. I said, yes, sir. He said, you need to come to my office on Monday. Tomorrow, come. I like, Oke Bakassi said, wow, brilliant. Do you live in Lagos? I said, yeah, I just came to Lagos. I do something at OJ's. The same OJ's I performed before. Oke Bakassi said, I do something at OJ's. I think it was artist night or it was a monthly, show he used to do at OJ's restaurant and bar. And then Oke Bakassi gave me his number. Gbenga Adeyinka said, call me again. And then I went to Gbenga Adeyinka. That was how I started doing Laugh Matters with Gbenga Adeyinka. Yes, if you watch Laugh Matters, it was on TV all over the country. And then I called Oke Bakassi. He said, come to OJ's. I went there. This time, my confidence was on. And I did my thing and it was good. I kept going there once in a while. I was going there. So this is how I met these guys. Let me think again. If I remember how I met the next comedian, I'll tell you.